Hi everyone, and welcome to Book Talk Tuesday. Today I'm going to talk about a couple of things, but first I'm going to talk about two books that I read recently that I absolutely adored. So the first one is targeted towards middle grade. It's called Forever or a Long, Long Time. We don't have this in our collection yet, but it is on order, so we will, and it will be available soon. But it follows two young kids who were in the foster care system but have been adopted by their mom, and it is from the perspective of the girl named Flora. She kind of just talks about her experiences from her perspective as a 12-year-old is mind-blowing. I thought the author did a great job kind of getting into the mind of a 12-year-old, and it talks about the difficulties. It talks about, some of the trauma and the heartache of being in the foster care system and, not knowing if the family that you're with is going to be your forever family. She talks about that a lot in the book. She calls her mom her person because she feels like it's her forever person, and it's just very touching and very sweet, and it's definitely not an easy read. There are a lot of emotional moments, but I think it really is an important read and touches on, some of the darker sides, but also some of the beautiful sides of not only foster care, but also of adoption. This is such a great book. It did not take me very long to get through it. A couple of us here in the library have read it, and I recommended it to everybody else after I finished it. So this is such a great book called Forever or a Long, Long Time. This other one called Himawari House, it can be young adult or adult. The main characters are in their early-ish 20s, and it follows these three women who are living abroad in Japan and their experiences with their identity, with learning languages. The main character is Japanese American. She moved to America when she was very young. So she has, the identity of somebody who is Japanese, but also American, and kind of finding her way as she's living in Japan for the first time and not really remembering much of the language. There's also a woman from Korea and her, struggles and also triumphs with learning Japanese. And then there's the other character is from Singapore, and they're all living in the same house, and they just go through school and romance and just the struggles of living in a foreign country. And I studied abroad when I was in college, and I identified a lot with the characters and their struggles with language and identity. And I just thought it was funny, it was heartwarming, it was so cute, and it's a graphic novel. So you get one thing that I really loved. Let's see if I can find a good page. One thing I really loved is that the book has Japanese and English. And then when the woman from Korea speaks, it's in Korean and English. And I just loved how the author included all three languages. I thought it was really beautifully done. How she kind of gauged language learning. There are parts where the characters don't understand, so you don't get to understand either. She crosses it out so you don't know what they're saying, because that's part of what you go through when you are learning a new language and you're not 100% sure what people are saying. So it's very heartwarming and also has quite a sense of humor. So if you're looking for something funny and lovely, Himawari House is a great quick read. The other things I wanted to talk about is now 2022 is the year of the tiger. So this says Chinese New Year, but we say Lunar New Year now. So for our Lunar New Year display, we have the year of the tiger. So we have books that are about tigers or have tiger in the title. We have movies, we have picture books for younger kiddos, we have some adult books. Our librarian Katie has book talked this before as one of her faves. And then we also have some junior, middle grade, and young adult books. So come on by, take a look at the selection that we have for our Lunar New Year books, and come check them out. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is over here on our wall. So if you have been in the library, you have probably heard one of us talking about our reading challenge for 2022. I started the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge probably about 5 years ago, and I have never looked back. I love it because it really encourages me to kind of go outside my reading comfort zone. I've discovered some amazing books throughout the years of doing this reading challenge. There are 50 books on this. I have not finished in any of the years I've done it, but what I like is just the challenge of participating in something that really encourages me to kind of broaden my horizons. So we have one for adult, and our goal is that we write down books that we've read just to let people know what we've been reading, and also to encourage other books if you're not sure what to read for a specific category. Katie just read Light from Uncommon Stars for an #Own Voices science fiction fantasy book. So if you're like, I have no idea what to read for this category, you can get some inspiration from there. So we have some that have already been written on here, and it's a good way to kind of get some ideas for other books that that you could use for these categories. We also have one for younger kiddos. So this one does not have 50 categories, but it has some really fun categories to kind of broaden younger readers' horizons. I've already put some stuff up here, books that were targeted more towards those middle grade ages, a book where someone travels across the world, and then a story about someone whose life is very different from your own. I just book talked Forever or a Long, Long Time. So anybody, even adults, can participate in this if they would like to, but we made this because some parents were asking for younger kiddos for a reading challenge, so we have this available as well. So we have a lot of things going on right now. I hope you come and pick one of these up. They're so much fun to do. I think it's a great way to kind of make you a little bit more excited about reading if you've kind of been in a slump, or get some ideas for some categories that maybe you would have never read before. Come check out some of our Year of the Tiger books, and I hope that you like the other books that I book talked today. They will be available in the library very soon. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you next time.